Indiana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Victoria Hill, in for Andrea Lutz. Coming up, treatment for life after COVID-19. We'll introduce you to the doctor working with patients. But first, U.S. senators will not start their August recess today, but will prepare to consider passing the $1 trillion infrastructure proposal. The Senate voted 68 to 29 last night to end formal debate on the bill. The process requires senators to wait 30 hours before taking a final vote on the proposal, unless all members of the Senate agree to take a vote earlier. As of now, a final vote will likely be held tomorrow morning. The Dam Bar, a popular spot for people visiting Canyon Ferry Lake in Lewis and Clark County, is considered a total loss after Saturday's fire. Firefighters say the fire sparked in the kitchen, but what started it is still unknown. They also say the building's construction made getting to the fire tough. And to wrap up your leading look, President Joe Biden recently extended the pause on student loan payments through January. Reporter Joe St. George takes a look at what the chances are some of that debt will actually be forgiven.
How much has the student loan forbearance program helped Americans with federal student loans? Well, from March of last year when the program started to the end of January when it's now set to end, $110 billion is estimated to be in the hands of Americans instead of the federal government. The no payment pandemic policy has helped those with debt who are out of work especially. And for those who never lost their job, it's resulted in a bit more spending to jumpstart the economy. The White House indicating over the weekend this will be the last extension. And come the beginning of February, all Americans should be prepared to pay their loans again. While it's possible the president extends it one more time, just like he has done with the eviction moratorium, a bigger question is, will student loan forgiveness take place this year? Many progressives want the White House to do it unilaterally. Many conservatives say that would overstep presidential authority. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the most powerful Democrat in the House, made news with this answer in a recent press conference.
People think that the President of the United States has the power for debt forgiveness. He does not. He can postpone, he can delay, but he does not have that power. That has to be an act of Congress.
But while President Biden has been reluctant to endorse student loan forgiveness, and while Speaker Pelosi is now reluctant to do so as well, when you speak to some progressives here on Capitol Hill, they say they're not done with the issue and they think real action could take place this year.
That is going to create, I believe, a very strong political pressure point.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is one of the leading progressives in the House and tells us the student loan debate isn't going away. She disagrees with the speaker. She thinks the president has the power to cancel debt on his own. Do you see any movement from the president or the speaker regarding forgiveness?
Well, I do think that there is some movement in place. So earlier this year, very quietly, the president called on the Department of Education to start issuing and studying his executive authority in student loan forgiveness. If they return with the conclusion that the president has the legal authority, which we know and believe that he does have, I think there'll be a significant step forward.
While the White House continues to review what presidential authority President Biden has, the House of Representatives and Representative Ocasio-Cortez will become increasingly influential in the coming days. Debate on that bipartisan infrastructure bill, as well as a separate partisan spending package, is expected to take place in that chamber soon. Student loan forgiveness will potentially be part of the conversation. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
Well, when you got up this morning, you may have thought, nice little chill in the air. Well, here's the reason why. We're in the wake of a strong cold front that brought those temperatures down overnight. We're going to be cooler than normal today, but don't get used to it. Our outlook for the next 6 to 10 days in terms of our temperature, 60% chance we're going to be warmer than normal. We take that out, 8 to 14 day trend, a 40 to 50% chance we're going to be warmer than normal as well. Will we see any rain? This cold front bringing in a lot of dry air behind it. I would say today that's about it. We still have some rain along the high line. We'll take a look at that with your extended forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
With all of the talk about COVID, one thing that doesn't often get talked about is the recovery process. For many people, that process can include a rehab program like the one at Benefice in Great Falls. The program is one of only about 40 in the country and is proving successful. Dr. Brad Neesett has been helping people recover from COVID for about 8 months.
We see patients all across the state of Montana. We've seen patients as young as 13 all the way up to 85.
Benefice's post-COVID recovery program is the only one in Montana and is for people who are still struggling with the side effects of the virus months after getting sick.
We start by telehealth appointments.
After a telehealth appointment to get an understanding of the patient's case, the treatments vary.
Treatment of the underlying respiratory problems have been directed towards cardiopulmonary rehab, oxygen therapy, and then inhalers. And a lot of patients we're finding the best response has been in nebulized treatments, which is an aerosol treatment. And patients have responded as quickly as 4 weeks and sometimes resolution in as little as 8 weeks.
Neesett says currently an average of 10% of COVID patients will develop long-term symptoms that would be best treated by a post-COVID recovery program. Seeing them recover through Benefice's program is rewarding.
What's very rewarding in this is helping validate patients' symptoms and showing objectively data that shows this is what's going on. Sometimes they may have been seeing multiple providers and really didn't know what was going on or didn't know what test to even begin to order. One of the things we always ask about is your functional capacity, what kind of exercise routine you're doing before COVID even occurred, what's your occupation. Those are all the quality of life indicators that definitely we want to see return. If we're doing full recovery, at the end you should be able to return to that level of whether it's competition, whether it's your job, or just something that you enjoy in life.
To find out if you may be a candidate for the program or to simply learn more about the program, we have a link to the website in this story on our website. In Great Falls, Colter Anstad, MTN News.
Miller's up next with another check of today's weather. Plus, what does it take to be Miss Rodeo Montana? We'll find out.
The MTN Noon News continues right after this.